When we talk about 12 consecutive years, it is certainly not a measure of a time only. It is actually a measure of trust. It is a measure of continuity. It is the record of shared history that two nations chose to write together and kept choosing decade after decade, in good weather or in bad weather. So dear audience, we gather today for two main reasons, and they belong together more closely than it may first appear. We celebrate 75 years of diplomatic relations between Pakistan and People's Republic of China, and we inaugurate the Confucius Center at Minhaj University Lahore, established in collaboration with Confucius Institute at the University of Agriculture, Faisalabad. Today is not simply the opening of new center at Minhaj University Lahore. It is the beginning of a new chapter in this university's journey towards academic excellence, international engagement, and cultural understanding. One ceremony out of these two looks back at what two states have built so far, and the other ceremony looks forward at what two peoples must now build. Dear audience, the second task is the natural continuation of the first one. A friendship that began between governments must now deepen into the friendship between societies, and universities are where that transformation actually happens. Allow me to recall briefly but precisely where this journey of friendship of these two countries actually began. In 1951, Pakistan established formal diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China. We were among the very first countries in the world and the first Muslim majority country to recognize New China. Consider the weight of that decision when Pakistan was hardly 4 years old and still building its own institutions, still finding its place in a wide world and divided one. And yet it looked north across the highest mountains on this planet Earth and made an independent judgment about the future of Asia. Here is another fact we may have forgot. In 1964, Pakistan's international airline became the first airline from a non-communist country to fly into Republic of China. At a time when much of the world kept its distance, a Pakistani aircraft opened the air corridor, and in July 1971, when the United States and China needed a trusted channel for their historic diplomatic opening, the channel ran through Pakistan. Then came the achievement that turned trust into stone and steel. Between 1959 and 1979, 20 years of labor, the workers, engineers, and the governments of both countries, they built Karakoram Highway, roughly 1,300 kilometers of road crossing Khunjarab Pass at some 4,700 meters, the highest paved international border crossing in the world. That highway is more than just an infrastructure. It is a statement carved into rock. If we can connect our countries through these high mountains, we can connect them through anything. In our own era, cooperation reached a new scale. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, launched in 2015 as a flagship of Belt and Road Initiative, has brought, according to official figures released this year, nearly 26 billion US dollar of Chinese investment into Pakistan and created more than 261,000 jobs for Pakistan. But titles, figures do not explain that resilience which was there behind this friendship. Why this friendship endured when so many others failed? Three main qualities I could look at, and that explains. Consistency. Both countries have treated the relationship as a permanent national interest, upheld by every government on both sides. The second important thing was respect. Neither has sought to dictate the other's internal choices ever. And the third important aspect is patience. Both understood that the real partnership is measured in generations and not just in headlines. Dear audience, consistency, respect, and patience. Remember these three words because they are not only the explanation of our past, but they are precisely those qualities which actually any education institution transmit from one generation to another. And that is why today's ceremony belongs on this university most. Some may ask, what 75 years after these years, is there anything left to say? I answer, yes, everything important is still ahead of us, and the numbers would prove that. Consider the trade and investment. Bilateral trade crossed $25 billion in 2025. In this current fiscal year, more than half of all foreign direct investment entering into Pakistan, over 53% has only come from China. Remarkable figure. But as a student of economics, I must tell you, the more important truth hiding inside these figures, the balance is heavily one-sided. Pakistan's exports to China remain only a small fraction of what we import. So that is not a complaint. Rather, I would call it an assignment for our next generation. It tells us that this gap is an opportunity which can strengthen this relationship. And our exporters, entrepreneurs, professionals, they could learn more about Chinese culture, Chinese market, and they could become exporters to that great market, which I would call the largest economic market on planet of Earth. Now, consider education, the dimension which is more closer to the hearts of those people who are sitting here in this hall. Here is a fact that deserve to be better known by all of us. Pakistan today ranks third in the entire world in the number of international students studying in China today. And more than 28,000 of our young ones, including over 6,000 PhD scholars, they are studying in China today. And they are in number, the third largest population of students in China from any country around the world. And the academic bridge runs in both directions. We see multiple Chinese universities. They are also teaching degree programs in Urdu language, and Urdu as a degree program. And our two countries have established CPAC consortium of universities linking 130 institutions in both countries. So here is the question that should occupy all of us mind today. Can a friendship survive next 75 years? It is a very important question we all need to look at. I certainly believe there is a lot in it, but there is something more we should do to give life to this friendship. And what is that? Such friendships cannot just be carried on official documents of the governments, unless and until that friendship translates and integrates into the society, where memories are built in classrooms, friendships are created on streets, and conversations are built up in business places. Let me state my personal point of view. Governments can build bridges between states. Only institutions like Minhaj University can build bridges between societies. Diplomatic agreements create frameworks. They define what is possible. Economic projects create opportunities. They define what is profitable. Both are essentials for the growth. But there is something more. What can be contributed by the institutions and universities. And that is the real friendship that comes through education, that comes through culture, that comes through relationship, and that comes through the build-up and connection which people and ordinary citizens of both countries, they could develop and they could connect through. Only that can give a life to such friendships for centuries and more. Dear audience, so let me place before you the most uncomfortable statistic of this entire address. Chinese is the most spoken first language on this planet Earth, the mother tongue of well over 1 billion human beings, the language of our largest trading partner, our largest investor, and our closest strategic friend. And yet, in this country of nearly 250 million people, the number of Pakistanis who can hold a professional conversation in Chinese is vanishingly small. Measure that against 53% of our foreign investment. Measure it against $25 billion of trade. Measure it against 28,000 of our students living inside Chinese society in very moment. So this is the case for the center we are going to inaugurate today. Language is not merely a mean of communication. Language is a bridge between civilizations. When our students learn Chinese, they are not simply learning vocabulary or grammar. They are gaining access to a rich civilization, a remarkable intellectual tradition, and new ways of understanding this world. They discover our history, and when Chinese would interact through the people who would know Chinese with Pakistan, so they will learn about our culture, they would learn about our tradition, and they would learn about our history. So it is important that we all are part of this beautiful ceremony which is going to inaugurate a very important center at Minhaj University Lahore, right in the heart of this beautiful city of Lahore. Now a question arises, why Minhaj University? It is certainly fair to ask why we all are here and why this center is opening up in Minhaj University. Let me answer as someone who knows this institution from within. Minhaj University Lahore is first and foremost a university of Pakistani youth. Our campus brings together students from every province and from many disciplines. Believe me, this university does not represent the elites of this country only. This university actually represents the real 90% of Pakistan, which is middle class and lower middle class. So anything happens here at Minhaj University that would have a clear impact on 90% of Pakistan. That is why opening this center here in the heart of this university will have an impact which would reach to 90% of Pakistan. And I say this with quite pride, that this university's engagement with China is not beginning today. It is certainly deepening today. Our collaboration with Shanghai International Studies University has already produced the Corpus Research Center on this campus, a joint initiative in language research, artificial intelligence, and translation studies, with commitment to faculty and student exchange. And the Confucius Center rises here on the foundation that already exists, and institutions which are built on existing foundations, they last long than those institutions who are built on just ceremonies. For our students, this center opens the door to scholarships, higher education, and professional opportunity in one of the world's most dynamic economies. For our faculty and researchers, it offers joint research, conferences, seminars, and collaborative scholarship. And for the university as an institution, it builds a lasting bridge between Chinese academia and Pakistani academia. But we believe a university must not remain confined to the walls of its classroom. A contemporary university in current world must prepare young people not only for employment, but for global citizenship, intellectual understanding, and responsible leadership. And so the value of this center will not be confined to this campus or walls of any classroom. If properly run, it will become a public asset for this entire city, serving students of our institutions and other institutions, researchers seeking a gateway into Chinese scholarship, businesses that need partners and staff with Chinese language skill, and families whose children dream to join these 28,000 students currently studying in China. Lahore has been an educational capital of this country. And Lahore has educated this country for generations and centuries. So this will be another great value addition to this city and through this city to Pakistan. Dear audience, this Confucius Center must not become just a center who is teaching language within the boundaries of campus. This center must first become a center of excellence in Chinese language, education, qualified teachers, serious curricula, and clear pathway from the first lesson to internationally recognized proficiency. That is its foundation, and we will not compromise on it, but it must aim higher. I envision this center as a hub for student and faculty exchange between these two countries, for joint research and publication, for academic conferences and seminars, for cultural programs and exhibition that bring Chinese art and tradition to Lahore and present Pakistani culture to Chinese audience in return. I envision it builds professional capacity for the next phase of CPAC, where cooperation will happen not between ministries, but between managers, technicians, and entrepreneurs, thousands of them. We must understand both societies, and I envision it above all as a space for youth-to-youth engagement, dialogue, competition, and ordinary, invaluable business of young people becoming friends. Dear audience, and especially the students of Minhaj University Lahore, this vision belongs to you all more than anyone today sitting here on the stage. 28,000 Pakistanis are studying in China today. I want some of the next 28,000 to begin their journey in the classrooms we opened today, this morning on this campus. The 75th anniversary we celebrate today was built by the people we have not met. Those diplomats, engineers, and workers across 3 generations. But what I want, when we celebrate the friendship anniversary, 100th anniversary of China in Pakistan, I want people sitting right in front of me in this auditorium to be part of that journey when both countries would be celebrating their friendship, the 100th celebration. And that will only happen when we will become part of such initiatives like this Confucius Center, which is going to be inaugurated today at Minhaj University Lahore. Learn Chinese language, learn their culture. That's how this friendship will strengthen, and that's how both countries will come together and more closer for everlasting friendship and commitment. Once again, I thank you all, and before I close, I express my sincere appreciation to Honorable the Consul General of the People's Republic of China for gracing this occasion, and to Dr. Saddam Hussain, the Dean of the Confucius Institute, and all other team members who have joined us today for this inauguration ceremony. Dear audience, on behalf of the Board of Governors and the entire Minhaj University Lahore's community, I extend my warmest congratulations to everyone on the inauguration of Confucius Center. May it flourishes as a center of learning, research, culture, and friendship. And may the next 75 years of Pakistan-China relationship be written by the young people in this hall in 2 languages, but with one purpose. Dear audience, in the end, I would like to congratulate and express my gratitude to all the organizers and team members, especially the Seekers Club and the students of Minhaj University Lahore. They put a lot of effort in organizing and celebrating this event. And all the staff members who have been instrumental in organizing this beautiful event and this inauguration. May Allah Almighty keep this friendship alive. Long live Pakistan-China friendship. Thank you very much.